So I think it's about time we sort the brakes. So welcome everyone back to another YouTube video. Now in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a full brake upgrade on my M140i, because they're currently, the iDrive is saying that it's about 3,000 miles overdue. There is some reasons for that. One, I was waiting for products. Two, the brakes are absolutely fine. Like, I checked the pads and there was a fair few mil left on them, so they were absolutely fine. And three, because I've just not had the time to get around to do them. But today, we're going to be heading over to Hatton Energy Motorsport, because they've kindly allowed me to come down, and Steve is going to help me with bits that I don't really know how to do, because I've never bleeded brakes before or changed brake fluid, so that's going to be new. And I've never changed braided lines, so that's going to be new. But yeah, let me just run over the stuff that we've got today. And also, today's video is sponsored by YFood, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for the car, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a full brake setup. So we're going to be doing disc, pads, fluid, line, sensors all the way around. So for discs, I've just gone for the OEM discs. I've been speaking to a few people and I've been told that they are absolutely fine. As long as you cool them down and everything like that, they should be absolutely fine. Everyone knows that the standard discs are really good on these. It's just the pads that let them down. And for the front and rear pads, I've got the DS2500s. Everyone rant and raves about these things, so it'd be good to actually see what these are like. I've had a few mates with them and they really like them, so it'd be good to see. And then I've gone for the Motul RBF 600 fluid. I've got a fair few bottles of these. I don't think I need 5. Apparently the system only takes 1 litre, but I thought if we're going to be doing a flush, I don't want to be halfway through a flush and then run out of fluid. So I've got loads of fluid. I've also got 2 new sensors, one for front and one for rear. And I've also got new clips and pins. These aren't necessary, you don't need to get these, but I thought I might as well, if I'm going to do it properly, I'm going to clean up the calipers. I'm going to put all new brakes on there. I might as well put new pins and that, just to make it look a bit better. And I've also gone out and bought M badges for the calipers, because at the minute, look, they are pretty much invisible. Like, the M's completely gone, so I thought I might as well get new badges on there just to finish it off lovely. And then I've gone for the Goodrich performance braided lines, just to help that solid pedal feel, you know, no matter how hot the fluid is. So yeah, a bit of an upgrade to be fair, and I'm quite looking forward to putting it all on the car, because at the minute my pedal feel is very spongy, and after a spirited drive for about 10 minutes the brakes make a weird noise. So I thought it's about time we change them. And if you want to go ahead and check out all these products, I'll leave the links in the description down below. But I got these from Williams Performance, I got these from eBay, I got these from R44 because it's the only place I can seem to buy them, and then the rest of it, the sensors, the discs, the pads and the fluid, was all from ML Performance. And a massive shout out to them as well for giving me a little bit of discount. I really do appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into the car and head down to Hatton Energy Motorsport, because Stevie was waiting for me and we need to get going. So I'll see you in a sec. Jacked up and the wheels are off, and I thought we'd give it a bit of an inspection before we go ahead and change the brakes. And if you look in there, there's not a lot of pad left. Also, if you look at the discs definitely need changing. Right, so what I thought of doing is getting one side done, one corner done, just so we can make sure everything's all good and make sure I've got the right parts, etc. And we were getting through it quite well. I mean, we've managed to get the disc on, we managed to clear up in behind there and put some paint on it to stop it rusting. But then we had a bit of a problem, didn't we? Yeah. Yes, that is the bleed nipple snapped off. He tried everything we could. We've soaked it in WD-40, we've put heat on it, and it would not budge, and now it is snapped. So we're hoping that we can maybe get it drilled out, I suppose, and see if it's
drilled out and tapped, and then see if we can get another nipple in there.
Yeah, which is not ideal, and it's set us back a little bit, but cars. So whilst we have a think about how we're going to solve that problem, I think it's about time we sort of stop and have some lunch, which moves us on to my sponsor for today's video, YFood. Right, so Steve, you can have crazy coconut. Shake it up. So you've got crazy coconut and I've got the classic cocoa. I think my favourite is probably the happy banana, but anyway, let's open them up, see what you think. It's the first time you're trying this.
Yeah, I haven't tried them before. That's mega. Yeah, that's really good.
So these are not actually like diet drinks, they're not protein shakes, they're full meal replacements to last like 3 to 5 hours. So when you're doing stuff like this on cars, it's perfect.
If it's a full meal, I need about 4 of them.
It's only because you're fat.
Mate, I'm well impressed with that. That's really good.
They are good, aren't they? So they have 26 vitamins and minerals. They're high in protein, high in fibre, lactose-free, gluten-free, and also no added sugar. And not being funny, if you're like me and always out and about, I'm never ever home in time for tea. So I always end up going between places and going to like a Mackey's or KFC. So having these in the car allows me to just drink them whenever. And if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to know that I genuinely use these anyway. So yeah, massive shout out to YFood for sponsoring the video. If you want to go ahead and check them out, I'll leave links in the description down below and also a discount code. And you can actually buy their starter pack. So basically you can get like 5 flavours and choose your favourite and then buy like loads of your favourite. Steve is genuinely really likes these. He's now going to speak to his missus about to see if she wants some. So yeah, definitely go check them out. They're really nice, genuinely. One thing I do need to have a look at is the bedding in process of the discs and pads. So I'll have a quick research in a bit because obviously all different brands are different and everything, but Steve was saying most pads these days anyway have like a thing in them that sort of self-bed themselves in, so we'll see. One thing to also mention is look how nice and clean that is in there, but if you come over to the back, that's what it used to be like. It's just rusty and awful, so we'll just clean it up a little bit. So I thought I'd show you all this over here because I'm sure a lot of you will be interested, but this is all the old brakes from that corner. So you've got the disc there, which you can see here. It's got loads of lines. It looks absolutely terrible. There's quite a fair bit big lip on the inside as well. The pads, well, there's not a lot left on them. Hopefully it's focused, but yeah, they are flat as a pancake. And also, I'm kind of glad I went out and bought new pins because these are screwed as well. And yeah, the clips probably could have been used again, but it'd be nice to freshen them up. But yeah, I don't know why most kits online don't include the pins because I had to buy them separately, but definitely worth doing. And then this is the brake line, obviously nothing wrong with that, but this is like rubber, so obviously when it gets hot it expands, but with the braided line it doesn't expand, so you always have the strong pedal feel. And then this is the brake wear pad sensor, which has well and truly been touched, so that's why I had the warning light. So Steve, being the absolute wizard, has fixed it. So can you explain a little bit about what you did?
So drilled down, obviously that's what snapped off there. Snapped off there and left all of this thread and that bottom piece, stuck it inside there. So I've had to drill down just the right depth so that I sort of nicked off the bottom half of this.
Tiny, innit? Like, there was not a lot of movement.
No, and didn't hit the threads either. And I had to take it right back to the threads, on the edge of the threads, because unfortunately my 10x1mm tap's missing, so I had to drill it right out to the edge so that we could then put just basically compressed air in there and blow the bits of thread out. And that piece there basically was what was jamming up the very bottom, which is out. Done.
Perfect.
That's it. Fit another nipple in it, and then this one should now just go in
like normal.
Yeah, in the normal threads. Lovely.
Sweet. Right, so that's now all done. I'm super happy, but it did delay us by about an hour or so, but we're gonna get this corner done and then get on with the others.
Right, so as Brett never shows you what he does sometimes, his mistakes, I'm going to. As you saw, we just drilled out that nipple and got the nipple out. He's then gone, right, that's done, so now can I actually clean my caliper? I've gone, yeah, no problem at all. So he starts cleaning his caliper, gets brake cleaner, which he has in his hand, but originally you didn't pick up the brake cleaner, did you, Brett?
No, I didn't.
He picked up the black paint inside, spraying black spray paint.
I was like, how's it getting dirtier?
Amazing.
Oh god. So sweet, the first one's all done, the lines are in and the discs and everything is in absolutely perfect. I've also put a new sticker on as well, just to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, let's get on to the others. Right, so first of all, we need this little tool to knock the pins out. So we need to be careful with the paint. Sweet, so that is the pins and the clips out. Just like that. So cool, now the pins and clips are out, we can just pull out the pads, and as you can tell, they are pretty sharp. So now that's all done, it's now time to remove the old brake hoses. Now in order to do that, we need to disconnect it from the caliper and the brake line, and also there's this awkward clip, but luckily Steve managed to jump in and get that all sorted for me, so thanks Steve for sorting that. I just want to take this second to say a massive thank you to Hatton Motorsport once again for allowing me to come down and get all this done on their ramps. If you do need any work done and you live in the Cornwall area, do feel free to check the links in the description and give them a shout, and they will be happy to pretty much accommodate all your needs. Like, get in touch with them, they can do engine rebuilds, little things such as brakes, all sorts of stuff, so get in touch with them. So now it's time to remove the caliper. There's just 2 screws on the back and then we can take that off. Then we need to remove the small bolt from the brake disc, which just holds it in place. And as you can see on the back of the disc, there's quite a big lip on it. And it's really good practice to clean up the hub and make sure it's a nice clean surface for the clean new disc, because obviously if you put a clean disc on a dirty surface, it's not going to sit right and it could cause vibrations and all sorts of stuff. So definitely clean it first. And then we're going to go ahead and just spray a little bit of black paint inside just to stop it from rusting even more, and then wipe off the excess with some brake cleaner. And then we're going to take the caliper into the parts cleaner and give it a good clean, and then finish it off with a cloth and some brake cleaner. And then we can go ahead and put on the new disc and also that small screw. Now, one thing to do before driving on new discs is to spray in brake cleaner and give it a good wipe, because there's some greases and oils all over the brake disc when they come from factory, so they need to be removed. And then now it's time to put the caliper back on, slide in the pads. Now, one thing to note is when you push the pistons back, make sure you've taken off the brake reservoir cap so it allows the pistons to move freely. And we actually just used the old pads just to push the pistons back, and it was so simple. And now we can install the new braided hose and then finish it off with a new M Sport sticker. And one thing to note as well, I did actually clean up the back of the wheels as well to make sure the faces are clean to touch the new clean disc. And now that's all done, let's get on with the rest. There you have it, that is all the brakes installed. All we've got to do now is flush through the brake system and put in the new racing fluid. But yeah, should be all good then. So we've been doing the bleeding process and we're pretty much nearly there, but what I've decided to do is load up Carly, and I'm currently resetting the service data. So obviously before the start of the video I showed you that it said the brakes were due and it came up with a handbrake light. I'm now resetting the service data for the front and rear, so hopefully in a second the light will go from the dash, and on the iDrive it will update to probably 20,000 miles or something until they're due. So fingers crossed it works, and yeah, I'll catch you in a second when it's all done. But yeah, obviously Carly sponsors the video sometimes, but it just shows I actually genuinely use it. I really do like Carly. So right, so it's all now cleared, so hopefully if I turn this on now it won't come up with the warning light and it won't come up on the iDrive. So far so good. So we've done rear brake pads, so now they are due in 23,000 miles, perfect. Brake fluid, that's due at the 4th of 2025, perfect. Front brake pads, 31,000 miles, perfect. So I think the next service due is, yeah, my oil, which I'm going to do anyway, and then vehicle check, which I think is just MOT, that's all good. So yeah, that is all now done. We're still bleeding the brakes now, but I reckon I'm going to catch you in the next few days when I've bedded in the brakes and sort of see my final thoughts of them. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. It's kind of one of those videos that's really hard to portray across on camera because obviously it's my brakes, and unless you actually film my brakes, you're not going to know what they're like. But you're just going to have to take my word for it that they're bedded in really nice, and they do stop the car nice, and they do stop the car very well. But yeah, if you did go ahead and enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like, rate, and comment and subscribe, and I shall catch you guys very, very soon in a brand new video. Once again, thank you to YFood for sponsoring today's video.